Pool, a novella of about 170 pages by the late Manisha Dixit, is written with a woman's perspective on life. Translated into English by me as Bridges, it's about the bridges that get built across two parallelly running lives of a husband and wife. They have come together in a wedlock arranged by their families on the normal traditional terms, with the proviso that love would follow between them, which is the case in many arranged Indian marriages. The life together of any couple involves many compromises on the part of both the partners. However, normally the male partner has his way in life and the female partner is dragged along at certain phases of the marital life, making all sorts of compromises. In the early stages of a married life, with both the partners having youthful optimism, with the wish to discover each other, and of course, on account of the conjugal needs, the journey appears smooth sailing. With some inconsequential hiccups, Revati and Amar launch into their marital routine with the help of Revati's very understanding mother-in-law Padmatai. The couple encounters midlife blues after the birth of a child, after the birth of their daughter, with differences of opinion over ways of bringing her up, thereby now formed up personal concepts about cohabitation, the revelation about conflicting values vis-a-vis success in life, the deepening awareness about their differing likes and dislikes, and so on. Amar is totally devoted to his career at the cost of neglecting his wife and newborn daughter to some extent. Even later on, despite the best of his efforts, Amar gets left out of the close-knit relationship between his wife and the daughter. And as for Revati, she finds a soulmate in Sameer, who is actually her friend Meera's husband, because they share a lot in common by way of temperament, their love for music, and so on, reading material, etc. But both Revati and Sameer realize that their friendship has limitations in the traditional societal norms as a friendship between a man and a woman. And they move away with a little bit of pain, though, from each other with a very conscious resolve. At this stage of the midlife blues, with both the partners seeing more prominently the incompatibilities in each other, if both the partners take a militant stand, the possibility of a total breakup in the relationship looms large. Pool or Bridges ends on a different note in this respect. The story consists of only about 3 days of Revati's life, but the narrative takes the reader way back into Revati and Amar's lives with flashbacks, and the writer gives an in-depth view of the couple as individuals without taking any sides. Though the male and female friends, her in-laws, her daughter, and others play their roles in Revati's life, the main characters in the story are Revati, Amar, her husband, and Padmatai, her mother-in-law. The writer has portrayed all the characters ultimately as having matured with having undergone varied experiences in life, none wanting to take any extreme steps and preferring to walk the middle path. Thus, the emotional balance amongst the characters is very well maintained despite the intellectual clashes. Revati is a representative of many an independent-minded modern Indian women who fail to realize their expectations from their marital lives. In the process, she experiences spells of loneliness and despair. But instead of destroying the relationship or continuing to live on in a miserable existence, She tries to find out a mutually acceptable solution and emerges a stronger person who is able to demonstrate to her partner how they can follow their own individual paths and still be a unit with a better mutual understanding. Revati, the protagonist, is a very sensitive introvert person, well educated, with her own perceptions and beliefs in life. Mildly ambitious in her career, she loves music and is happy with friendships with the like minded. And Amar, her partner, is a typical practical man, has no interest in music. His interest being partying and boozing with friends and business partners. Very ambitious about his career at the cost of some misadventures vis-a-vis his business partners. He is not deliberately insensitive to Revati's needs, but takes certain things for granted and expects her to go along. For example, Amar feels a business partner's mild flirtations with his wife Revati at a party as perfectly acceptable, whereas Revati is disgusted with such advances from the business partner and aghast at Amar's casual response to her anger and disgust. Amar's mother plays a rather non conventional role in their lives. She, of course, loves and understands her son Amar a lot more as his mother, who knows what sort of childhood and youth he has had, which has made him the man he is today. But she also empathizes with her daughter in law Revati and understands her as a woman. She is disturbed at the prospect of Revati's decision to lead separate independent lives at a certain stage in their lives when their advancing age, in fact, makes it desirable that they be together at the cost of difficult compromises. She, however, ultimately encourages Revati to have her way. When at a point Revati finds it difficult to have coexistence with Amar under the same roof. The story starts on a positive note at this juncture of their separate lives. It's a pleasant morning when Revati is on the way to the ashram where she has found a meaningful life, leaving Amar to follow his ambitions in business elsewhere. But the separation has not been on a bitter note. They have parted ways after maturely understanding each other's different needs from their lives. Revati, in fact, brings over Amar to the ashram for a few days and nurses him back into health with the dedication of a close life partner after a serious illness. During his short stay at the ashram, Amar also realizes how Revati must have suffered loneliness earlier in their lives and also sees a value in the way of life Revati has chosen for herself. He is almost converted to her lifestyle during his stay there. But Revati, knowing well that her sort of life wouldn't be easy or normal for him for a longer duration, convinces him to go back to his own lifestyle. Amar too sees the point and goes back to his business life, a very understanding and mature person. They thus avoid the repetition of a phase in their earlier lives which had necessitated their going their separate ways. Padmatai also gets convinced about how right Revati had been in taking the decision. The story tells the reader that the life they had led together did ultimately have some deep rooted links built between their separately parallel lives, apparently parallel lives. And these links have got strengthened as both of them have matured as human beings.